Okay, welcome to February, everyone. As usual, I'm going to go over every unusual I have right now that we're going into this month with. We have 2 Rare Shine Crooks Caps. We have a Miami Nights Detective Noir. We have an Orbiting Planets Chrome's Dome. We have a Kilowatt Wraith Wrap. We have a Warp Drive Commonwealth Commando. We have a Disco Beatdown Detective Noir. We have a Disco Beatdown Executioner. We have a Lunar Lights Wanderer's Wool. We have a Disco Beatdown Fire Helmet. We have a Frozen Fractals Yule Hog. We have a Bewitching Bugs Brand Loyalist. We have a Disco Beatdown Powdered Practitioner. We have a Butterfly Season Tropical Brim. We have Baron's Cherished Chaplet Tropical Brim. We have a Phosphorus Broadband Bonnet. We have a Rainbow Revie Firefighter. We have a Spectral Fire MF Doom Hat. We have a Frisky Morning Hot Spaniel. We have a Disco Beatdown Slick Cut. We have a Butterfly Season Brand Loyalist. We have a Cloud9 Bumble Beanie. We have a Cuban Smoke Commonwealth Commando. We have a Cuban Smoke MF Doom Hat. We have a Gordian Angel Hollowed Helm. And we have a Tesla Coiled Powdered Practitioner. A lot of hats going into this month. Let's see if we can sell any. Okay. We're not going to talk about the fact that it's actually January 1st, but we're going to pretend like it's February 1st. We just bought a Hawaiian Hunter with Kilowatt for 13 keys. One of my Discord buddies was looking to sell one, so I bought it off him. Next, lowest seller is looking for 18 keys, so that would be well into the 30 profit margin. One seller on Marketplace looking for $35. Recent sales in December and November, so I think for 13 keys, that was a really nice pickup. So I'm going to list it, see what we can get. Okay, we just picked up a Clairvoyance Vampire Vanquisher for 17 keys. Now, this was off of Buyer Snipes, and I plan to put it on Scrap TF and auction it off, see what we can get. But buyers right now are looking for 19, so even then would be a 10% profit margin. I'm looking to get maybe 20 for it, see what we can do. Okay, I was helping price check an item for a buddy of mine, and I ended up finding this Aurora Skies Crimbo cap that I picked up for 32 keys. Now, I was looking to compare with other Crimbo caps, and I ended up finding this one. Next lowest seller is looking for 60. Even if I get 40 or 50 for this, that's crazy profit. So we're gonna see what we can get. Okay, 2 things for you. So I placed the Clairvoyance Vampire Vanquisher on Scrap TF. We ended up getting 21 keys and 39.22 rep for that. I also picked up a Circling TF2 Bonnet. So we got this for 24 keys and 28.66 ref. Someone actually pointed this out to me. They were asking me if it was a good deal because it's 10 ref above buy orders. I said yeah, that they could probably list it on Scrap TF auctions and get more for it. When I said that, they kind of lost interest in it, and they told me that if I wanted it, I could pick it up. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to list it on Scrap TF and see if I can get more than what I paid for it. Okay, today we were able to sell our Miami Nights Detective Noir. This should come out to 33 keys once I sell it, which would be a 10% profit margin, basically 10.40. Key prices are high right now. They're at $1.83. I'm gonna wait and see if they can get to $1.70, but either way, it should be 33 keys. Okay, just had 3 auctions end. We sold our Circling TF logo Bonnet, our Kilowatt Hawaiian Hunter, and I believe it was our Lunar Lights Wanderer's Wool. We sold that for 21 keys and 21.33 ref. Sold our Hawaiian Hunter for 13 keys and 2 ref, and our Bonnet for 25 keys and 10 ref. So the Hawaiian Hunter we only made 2 ref profit on, but the others we got a key or 2 profit more on each of them. I was holding on to the Lunar Lights Wanderer's Wool for a minute there. I picked that up at the end of December under buyers, so I figured I'd throw that one on auction just because they haven't moved in a minute and there's a ton of sellers. The Hawaiian Hunter, there was one on Marketplace going for 14 keys and 40 ref, so I figured I'd just throw that on auction and see what I could get. So the fact that I got 2 ref more, I'm not too bothered by. I'll take that profit. And the Bonnet, I mean, we got it for 10 ref above buy orders, and we were able to get over, not over a key profit, but 50 ref 0.66, so we'll take it. Now we have a lot more appear on hand. Hopefully we can grab some more profitable items. Okay, so I was looking for some decent deals, and I ended up finding this reindeer hat with Phantasm Jr. I think that's how you say it. They were looking for 39 keys. I ended up buying it for 37. Not a huge discount. Nice effect. Kind of feels like vivid or searing. So I offered 37. STN is buying for 37 and 40 ref, but it's got 3 sales this year alone on Marketplace, all for around 40 keys. It's not a huge profit margin, all things considered. It would be a less than 10% profit margin. So I might just quick sell this on auctions and see if I can get more, or I might just sell it right on STN. Either way, I'll let you know. Okay, so not off of Buyer Snipes. This is Ice Struck Wanderer's Wool. Found this on STN. It was going a little bit lower than buyouts on Backpack. So I bought this for 22 keys and 42.66 ref. So Backpack's buying this for maybe like 10 or 20 ref more. I'll probably throw this on auctions in a bit. I'm waiting for peak time to hit before I do that. I'm gonna throw a few hats on there anyway and see what we can get. Okay, off of Buyer Snipes, we were able to snag, not these keys. Oh my god, that's a lot of keys. Not actually. There's a bunch of ref in here too. I just saw one of these to get ref. I was short on ref. Oh, there it is. Is this Universal Translator with Stormy Storm. I got this for 19 keys and 49.88 ref. Not going for a lot more on backpack. I'll probably throw it on auction and see if I get something better there. I should at least get a key or two more off of that. So that's what I'm gonna do. Alright, 2 things for you. One, our auctions just ended. We had 3 auctions going. We lost in one of them. We lost 42 ref, basically, which is fine. The Wanderer's Wool Ice Struck only ended up fetching 22 keys. That's okay. Whoa! Oh, we got crates. I forgot about that. I had money left over in my community market funds, so I withdrew them for some silly things. So we ended up getting 22 keys for the Wanderer's Wool, so we lost 42 ref. The Stormy Storm Universal Translator, we got 20 keys and 3 ref for that, so that was a profit of 22.88 ref. And then the Reindeer Hat, we ended up getting 38 keys, so buy orders for that were at 39 and a few ref. We didn't make as much profit as we could, but we still made profit on that hat. I'll take it. And I also grabbed this Elf Defense with green confetti. We bought this for 7 keys and 4 ref. Buy orders are at 7 keys and 22 ref, so I'm just going to sell it right there because I don't think this is really going to get a lot more. I'm going to take a photo of it and we'll move on. Okay, this is like the 4th time I'm trying to record this. My TF2 is being really weird, but we bought this Universal Translator with Abduction for 40 keys and 40.55 ref, if I'm not mistaken. This hat had a big market earlier in the year. There were tons of these for sale. They've all sold out for around 45 to 46 keys after taxes. So I'm going to list it a little bit higher, see if I can get around 50, because that would be a decent amount of profit, especially since this is the only one on the market right now. So we're going to go ahead and try that. Let's see if it actually records. Ooh, in fact, there was a previous update that I don't think actually came through. The soldier hat we had, Elf Defense with green confetti. We sold that for a loss of 30 ref because the bot that was buying it was not actually buying it, so we just had to liquidate that real quick, but that's fine. Unfortunate because that would be our 4th loss, and that would be 2 losses in a row with the Ice Struck Wanderer's Wool and then the green confetti off the fence. But out of all these trades we've made, we've only lost on 4 of them, including those 2, so that's not too bad. But I'm going to post this on Marketplace and see what we can get. Okay, we ended up picking up a Miami Nights Vintage Merryweather. We bought this for basically 30 keys. It came out to 29 keys and 63.66 ref. Keys right now are 65 ref, so it's right in that ballpark. Now, I am not a huge fan of Miami Nights, but looking at other Merryweathers, this was crazy cheap. Obviously, the shit effects are going to be down in the teens, but once you get to 3rd gen, it just jumped all the way up to 40. So this being that low was kind of concerning, or it could be a good deal. Recent price suggestion of a week ago says this could go for 33 keys. Isn't a huge profit margin if we just go from 30 to 33, but no other sellers. All the other effects are either really bad or really high up there. I think if I list this for around 40, 35 keys, I could get a good deal on it. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, I have a really weird hat for you today. Now, I don't normally get hats this cheap. Usually there's a threshold between what's too cheap that no one wants and what's too expensive that no one can buy. And it's roughly around like 20 keys to 200 keys. So anything below that, I'm usually very cautious about. However, this is going to be the 100th unusual I buy. So I figured I would get the cheapest unusual on STN, no matter what it was, how bad it was, and see if we can flip it for a profit. Now, I'm going to try to not sell this for like a scrap more. I'm going to try to at least get 10% profit margin like I would do on any other unusual. If I can get 5%, great. I'm not going to, shackle myself down to this unusual, but I just really want to get the worst unusual on the site and see if we can flip it and see if we've gotten any better at trading. Obviously we've come a long way from having no experience to where we're at now. I'm going to do a more in-detailed video about all the unusuals I bought to this point. So with that said, I am going to buy this unusual and we'll check it out. Okay, here we have it. Gift from Moneyman, July 20th, 24. That's got to be a sign. It's got to mean we're going to make a lot of money on this one. It's definitely a hat. I don't know what I was expecting. It's definitely a hat. So I did the math. To make exactly 10% profit, I need to sell this for 46.22 ref more than what I bought it for. That's going to be somewhere around 7 keys and 50 ref, which is hopefully doable. Let's find out. I don't think I'm going to throw this on Marketplace because I don't think it's going to sell. I think I'm just going to have to offer it to traders and see if anyone's going to bite. I kind of doubt it, but you know what? It's fun. That's what this is all about. I'm having a good time doing all this trading, so let's see what we can do. Okay, we just bought a Tainted Frost Chill Chulu for 31 keys and 28.88 ref. So the next lowest one is looking for 45, so that should be a good deal. I'm going to throw this on Marketplace, see what we can get, see what happens. Okay, we just picked up this Stormy Storm Burning Bandana for 16 keys. Now I can quick flip it for 16 and 3.33, which honestly I'm probably gonna do. I don't really feel like sitting on it. Next lowest seller is looking for 19, and buy order is only high on STN, so I don't think this would be a good auction item. So I'm just gonna quick sell there and be done with it. Okay, we sold our Killing Tree. Now, we did not get 10% profit. We did not get 5% profit. Unusuals at this price point, that is a pipe dream to get that much. So I ended up lowering the bar down to 2%. We were able to get that. These really bad unusuals, it takes time. I mean, I sold this in a day, but I wasn't looking for a large return. I think if you are doing unusuals like this, make sure it sells often. There are, say, for instance, Miami Nights Elf Defense. It's a elf hat for demo. Goes for 8 keys at most, but it sells all the time. So if you buy something like that and get a few more ref out of it, then that's profitable. This hat has, I think, like 2 sells on Marketplace. Obviously, not the best hat, but I went with the cheapest hat on STN. We were able to sell it. We got 2% profit on it. I will take that because anything else for that seems a little ridiculous. So there we go. Nice. Okay. My recording software was off there, but we just bought a Powdered Practitioner with Blizzardy Storm for 14 keys. Now, this has been going for way higher on Marketplace and Manco. Tons of sales in the recent months, indicating that price, and especially in January. There was a bunch of sales in January for around 20 keys, so I was able to snag this for a pretty good deal. I'm going to list it there and see if we can get something higher. Today, we decided to be stupid with money again, and we bought another bulk set of keys. This will be the last time I do it. This would take our starting amount to 1,000. I think going over that would be ridiculous. I think even getting this far is ridiculous, but it's been working out so far. So being a little stupid little guy, whatever. What are you gonna do? All right, with that new Pure, we picked up 3 hats. We got a Miami Nights Thirst Blood. We picked this up for 73 keys and 44.77 ref. We picked up a Playful Aurora Hot Spaniel. We got this for 24 keys and 29.22 ref. We picked up a Disco Beatdown Nightcap. Got this for 23 keys and 26.88 ref. So I'll go over why I picked these out. The Thirst Blood, not only being a good scout hat, there's big jump in the tiers of this hat. So most of the lower tiers are, and there's really not a lot for sale. So around this price point that I picked this up at, the only comparable ones were like Blizzardy Storm and Haunted Ghosts. I think Miami Night is a little more sought after than both of those, so I think I could list this for maybe 20 keys more and get a good sale. Marketplace does not have a lot of these for sale, period, like any effect with Thirst Blood, and most of them are priced pretty high. Like Orbiting Fire is around like 140 right now, and I think if this can be a competitive price point for that. We also picked up the Hot Spaniel for Pyro. Now, I do have a Frisky Morning one. That one dropped in price earlier. There were a ton of sellers looking for 17 keys, all of which have sold out by now. So I think that this shows that this hat is sought after, or people like this effect. So Playful Aura seems to be the more desired of the sister effects. And if Frisky Morning sold out at a cheap price, this one also has good sales. 2 sales around $80 in the last month. So that would come around 40 keys. So that's a big profit margin. And then the Nightcap. Disco Beatdown's a great effect. I've had luck with these before. I think it's a good hat. Great effect. I don't think this should be a problem. I don't know what I'm going to list this at, but I think for 24 keys, that's a good price point for this. So I'm going to list these all on Marketplace and see what we can get. All right. Today we were able to sell our Brand Loyalist with Bewitching Bugs for 35 keys and 27.33 ref. So there were a ton of sellers on Marketplace, and there still are. There's a lot of sellers on Backpack as well. STN just picked one up for 37 keys. One bot, it was right below what Backpack suggested price was, but it was higher than what I paid for. So I think instead of trying to compete with 8 other sellers on Marketplace alone, I was just going to dump it and try to get something with less competition. I'm sure I could have gotten more profit for that, but with the round robin system for sellers and with that one on STN, it may be hard to justify the price point it's at now, and I don't want that to crash. So we just sold it. At least we made a profit. I'll see you next trade. All right, we just picked up a stainless pot with Disco Beatdown. We got this for 51 keys and 14.44 ref. So it's a little over what Backpack suggested is. I think it's at 49 keys on suggested. However, I think a lot of people enjoy this hat. Disco Beatdown is also a really good effect. There is only one other seller of this hat who recently put it for sale, and he's looking for somewhere in the 60s. I think I could probably match that, especially since he's on a Marketplace seller. Hat normally sells for around $100 on Marketplace. So that would be after tax tax would be a little lower than what I paid for it, so I'm just gonna list it higher than that and see if it goes. But yeah, let's see what we can do. Alright, so we picked up 2 unusuals off of some bots. We picked up a Ludicrous Fedora with the Bone Zone, and a Fleet Commander with Uberblaze. Now, on Backpack TF, these guys don't have a lot of leeway. Most of these hats have stiff competition in their price point. However, Marketplace has a ton of recent sales for both of these for well over what Marketplace is looking for. So I picked up the 2 cheapest ones I could find, and I'm going to list them there. Let's see what we can get. But first, here we have the Bone Zone, and then the Fleet Commander, both of which look really nice. Yeah, let's see what we can get. Alright, so I was looking for just a few more hats to pick up, and I ended up finding 2 hats. And now I picked up this Festive Falling Star Nightcap for 8 keys and 37 ref, and then I treated myself to, somewhere in here, a second Festive Falling Star Nightcap. So on Marketplace, these usually go for a little under $30. I picked the one up for 8 keys and 37 ref, and the second one I picked up for 9 keys and 30 ref, so less than a key more, but just about a key more. Because they're so cheap, these are both pretty close to buy orders. I don't really care about that, but they sell constantly on Marketplace. I think I can list both of these and get 2 or 3 keys more. There was such a small amount of keys that it's really fine. I can sit on less than 10 keys for a while, that I'm okay with that. Especially with how often these sell, I'm sure I can get my money back pretty quickly. So I figured higher value items haven't seen any decent deals in a minute, so I was looking at lower value items, and I came across these 2. So let's see how they go. Alright, we will pick up a Purple Energy Hottie Sooty for 56 keys. Now, buy orders for this are pretty high. They're looking for like 69, so I'm just going to quick flip it for that, because I probably could get more than, I'll take a look, but I honestly think getting that much more for it is probably worth my time than trying to wait on this and get a sale. So I'll take the easy profit now, then even more profit if I wait, because I'm a little impatient. Not really, but you know what it is. I'll see you in a second. Okay, we just traded that to STN because they were the highest buyer. There was another one on Backpack that said it was going to pay 72 keys, but after sending the trade to it, it was not giving that amount, so kind of scummy. But we were able to trade that for 13 keys and 66.55 ref profit, which would be basically 25% profit margin, which is crazy for a buy like that. So sweet, we take it. Alright, today we were able to sell our Spectral Fire MF Doom hat. Now we sold that for $200 and that came out to $179.99. So after tax that comes out to 100 keys, and I think we bought that for 83 keys. So it's a decent profit margin, but we take it. Alright. I don't know why we keep picking up these low tier hats, but we just picked up a Shining Bokeh Crimbo cap. Now, I was originally interested in a Ghost of Smithmas Crimbo cap. There was a seller looking for 12 keys for that. We picked this one up for 13 keys. I think this is a better effect. Not why I went with this one. So the Ghost of Smithmas has a bunch of sales around $44 or $49 on Marketplace. However, the market is dominated by one guy who owns 9 of them and has them all listed there. So I could probably still buy that one and throw it on there, but with as much competition as it has, I decided to avoid it. But I ended up looking at other Crimbos, and I found this one for 13 keys. There are far less sellers even on Backpack. There are no sellers on Marketplace right now, so we're gonna pause it there and see what we can get. Okay, we just picked up this Circling Peace Sign Mean Captain for 35 keys. Now, there aren't a lot of sales for this one specifically, but TF logo has recent sales around 45 keys, so I'm going to list this around that price. Other sellers are looking for 48 keys on this right now. I'm going to see what I can get. Okay, we just picked up 2 unusuals. We got a Hollowed Helm with Pyroland Nightmare. We picked this up for 13 keys and 54.44 ref. And we also picked up an Uberblaze Headslug. We got this for 16 keys and 66.22 ref. Now, I don't know why I keep buying shitty low tiers. I really don't. But the profit margins are great. So you know what? I'm a crackhead. So this one usually sells for around 15, 16 keys. So we bought this at a pretty good discount. On Marketplace, it usually goes for more. In fact, there have been maybe like 10 or 15 sales since November, and a lot in this year. No other sellers on Marketplace right now, so I'm going to try listing it there, see what we can get. And then the Headslug with Uberblaze. Now, out of all the all classes, this was the cheapest by like 3 keys. Constant sales throughout the year. The sellers have jumped up the price, so I'm going to list it there. I think they're looking for $60, which would be, I don't know where that would come out to, but it's a really good profit margin. So we're going to list it there and see what we can get. Okay, So we picked up not these keys. These keys are from that Spectral Fire MF Doom hat, but this, another Festive Following nightcap. Again, got this one for 9 keys and 30 ref, so I already bought one at that same price point. I still think that it's a good deal because there are a bunch of sales to justify that, so I'm going to capitalize on the market of it. There was also a new price suggestion just today that this is worth 9 to 13 keys, so I think that can be in my favor. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so I tried to record, but as a classic, it didn't record. My recording software sometimes freaks out. However, we bought this Bone Zone Mean Captain for 69 keys. Now on Backpack, there's another seller for 69 keys. I don't have enough inventory to buy both of them, but that's not the point. On Marketplace, it has constant sales over that price point that right now, the sellers on Marketplace are asking well over a 25% profit margin threshold for me. So if I put it at that price and it doesn't sell, I can just lower it down and I'll still be fine. So we're going to list it there and see what we can get. Okay, we were able to sell our Miami Nights Vintage Merryweather for 35 keys basically. So we bought that for 29 and 63.66 ref. So that's roughly a 15% profit margin. We take that. Okay, instant replay wasn't on, comical. We sold our Frozen Fractals Yolhog for 32 keys. I'm looking to buy another hat, but the seller is only taking pure offers, so I need to liquidate that real quick. I reached out to SP to see if he was still interested in it, and he was. So I sold to him for 32 keys, and that would be a 15% profit margin, so we take that. Alright, in old school fashion, we traded one of our hats for a different one. We sold our Orbiting Planets Chrome Stone plus 14 keys for an Uberblaze Hat Out of Hell. Our total cost for this was 67 keys. It has sales on Marketplace and a few other sellers for 199.99 cents, and that would come out to 100 keys. That would be a 33 key profit margin, which would be roughly 50%. So I don't need to list it at that price. I'm going to, and if I need the sale, I'll lower it down to maybe 170, but this should be more profitable than the Crone Stone. So let's see how it goes. Okay, we sold our Frisky Morning Hot Spaniel for 21 keys. Now, the reason I did that for such a low profit margin, I think it's like 8%. I'm planning on picking up another one with a different effect, but that person is asleep right now, so hopefully in the morning, I will get that hat in. I didn't want to I think that would be my third one, and that was easily the worst of these effects, so the fact that someone was interested, I was kind of willing to just get rid of it for cheap, especially because there are other sellers right now. I didn't want any of them to take it from me. So we'll take a small percentage and pick up a new hat. Okay, we just picked up a Halcyon Halo Hot Spaniel for 28 keys, I think. This is why I wanted to quick sell the other one, just so I could get one with a way nicer effect on. But yeah, these effects, this and its sister effect, I think it's like Crystal Crown, I've been doing really well lately. These are like a new high tier effect. So a bunch of recent sales on Marketplace, which is surprising because most of the new effect hats don't get as many sales as this one has been getting. I think there have been like 5 sales on this one alone for a flat 25% profit margin. I could obviously list it higher because it's been selling so often, but I think I just will match that 25% and we'll move on. Alright, old school trading time. We just sold 4 hats for 1 hat. This was the hat I originally was going to buy with Pure, but I ended up negotiating with a different seller who was open to item offers. We sold a Cuban Smoke Commonwealth Commando, our Kilowatt Wraith Wrap, our Aurora Skies Crimbo Cap, and a Rainbow Revi Firefighter for a Halcyon Halo Polar Charger. Now, other sellers are looking for 150 for this. Crystal Crown is looking for 100. Originally, I was interested in the Crystal Crown because it was cheaper. However, the one seller never responded to me, and the other one was listing the highest and said they would match them but wouldn't go any lower. So I wasn't really interested in spending 100 pure for this. The other sellers of this hat were willing to negotiate, the ones I was able to talk to at least. However, they were still looking for a little bit more. This dude said he wanted to get back into trading, so getting a bundle of hats like that would be worth it for him. Now, we ended up spending, I think that's 124 keys. Yeah, we spent 124 keys on those unusuals. The bulk of that coming from the Rainbow Revi Firefighter and the Aurora Skies Crimbo Cap. Now, the Crimbo Cap's pretty inflated. I thought it would be fine because it was a nice new effect on a scout hat, but there are a ton of sellers of that and they just started undercutting each other like mad. When I originally bought it, sellers were looking for 70, and now STN is selling for like 28. And most sellers in Backpack are looking for 38 to 40. The Commonwealth Commando with Cuban Smoke actually, I feel like, could be still a decent profit. However, the Commonwealth Commando is also pretty inflated. There's like 7 sellers on Marketplace alone, and Backpack has way more. So even if mine were to sell there, it probably would take a while, even though profit margin was still pretty good. And then the Wraith Wrap, more sellers showed up, not on Marketplace, but STN is also selling it for 30 now, so it probably would have been another tough sale. So I figure even though out of all the options I gave him, this is definitely the most expensive on my end, but I feel like this has a better profit margin and will probably be easier to sell than all those 4 hats. So let's see what we get. All right, we picked up a Alpha Steam with Crystal Crown. Now, elf hats, really bad. However, this is the cheapest demo hat with this effect by far. So I think maybe we could throw this on Marketplace. So if we bought this at 15 and if we list it at $40, that would come out to 20 keys, and that would be a 33% profit margin. And now that gives us a lot of wiggle room. I hope you heard that, because that was my cat falling off of a table, chair. She stepped on a laptop on the table and it flipped both of them over, so I'll have to deal with that. Either way, we have a lot of wiggle room with this, so let's list it there and see what we can get. Okay, our Uber Blaze Fleet Commander sold for $65, so that should come out to 33 keys. Now, that took us 9 days to sell with a profit margin of 43.47%. Great flip. I'm glad we got that. All right, I'll see you in the next one. All right, we sold our Playful Aurora Hot Spaniel. Now, this comes out to 40 keys. We bought this for 24 keys and 29.22 ref. This right here is a 63.75% profit margin, which completely destroys my last personal best of 55.75. So that was a great pickup, and someone is messaging me on Steam. But yeah, we'll take that every day. I might pick up another one at 32 keys, because these have been selling great. Who is messaging me? All right, I'll see you in the next one. As promised, we have the Playful Aurora Hot Spaniel. Now, you've already seen this, but we picked this up for 32 keys this time. It's because the last one sold so well. I've been looking for another hat to pick up, and I haven't really found anything half decent, so we're just going to pick this up and see what we can get. My recording software can't keep getting away with this, but evidently it can. We picked up a Crimbo cap with Crystal Crown. I'm leaning into the new Smith effects because they're selling pretty well. Got this for 24 keys. Next low seller is looking for 34, and Sister Effects looking for 50. No other sellers on Marketplace, and recent sales on Marketplace indicate that this can get around 30 keys after tax. So I'm going to list it there and see if we can get that. Okay. We just picked up a Shining Bokeh Dapper Noah right here. So we picked this up for 29 keys and 6.77 ref. Someone is buying this on Marketplace for 31 keys. I'm going to add them and see if I can get a little bit more than that. All right. We sold our Shining Dapper Noah for 31 keys, and then we had a Marketplace buy order come through. So we got a decent amount of pure on hand right now. I'm eyeing up another hat, believe it or not. It's another Smith effect. I'm going to see if I can snag it, so I'll see you in a minute. All right, sold a few hats to make it happen. I'm going to go over the hats I sold in the next segment. We ended up buying 2 Dapper Noahs with the Halo, and Crimbo cap also has Halo. Now, I also picked up a Australian Medigun. I picked it up for pretty cheap. It was basically a quick sale, so I scooped it. So I got these for 64 keys and 34 ref each, and I got the Crimbo cap for 23 keys and 34 ref. These were both on Manco, so they were listed really low just because of the competition there, so I bought the cheapest ones. So I'm going to list these on Marketplace for way higher than what I paid for. Let's see what we can get. Alright, so last clip I was showing you all the unusual hats we got, which were the 2 Dapper Noah and the Crimbo cap. Now, I had to sell a few unusuals to get that, so we profited on 2 of them, and we took a loss on 3 of them. So I sold 2 Festive Falling Star nightcaps for 9 keys and 46.44 ref, and we got a profit of 16.33 ref for them. We sold our Bone Zone Mean Captain for 65 keys and 2.77 ref, so we lost 4 keys and 66.22 ref. Now, someone else on Marketplace placed that for sale for $150, so it would be an 8% profit margin if I did sell it at that price. Sitting on that profit margin probably wasn't worth it, so I went to quick sell that. We sold our Warp Drive Commonwealth Commando for 23 keys, and we lost 3 keys and 11 ref for that. Oversaturated hat, there were 7 sellers on Marketplace alone. STN selling it for lower than what I paid for, so taking a 3-key loss for something that would be super hard to profit on. I was fine with that. And then similar to the Mean Captain, we sold our Disco Beatdown Firewall helmet for 14 keys and 21.11 ref. Now that's a loss of 6 keys and 20.11 ref. I had it listed for $59.99 for a while, and I ended up lowering it down to $51.99 to still get a 25% profit margin. And another seller showed up and started listing it for, I think it was like $39.99 or somewhere lower than that. The profit margin was gone. We would be breaking even at best. So having to sell that for a loss, it was a gamble anyway with the Robo hat. Good effect, half decent Robo hat, but I'm sure these hats will go a lot further than what that one did. So those are what we had to sell to get those 3 hats, and hopefully it was worth it. All right, we sold our Disco Beatdown Slick Cut for an Australian wrench. Now, someone was interested in buying it, and they were like, would you be interested in any of my items? And I looked through their inventory, and they had a few things that were way more expensive than the hat, so they weren't interested in selling them. But this I could sell real quick for like a 4-key profit, but I'm gonna list it on Marketplace because it's basically pure. I don't need to quick sell to a bot. This should get us around 30 keys, and that would be a 6-key profit. So let's go do that. All right, our Shining Bokeh Crimbo cap sold for 20 keys. We bought that for 13 keys a few days ago, so that's a profit margin of 53.84%. We take it. All right. I noticed a pretty good deal while I was waiting for some gear to come in from Marketplace. I was worried this was going to get bought out before I got those keys in, so I ended up quick selling our Disco Beatdown Executioner for 40 keys and 35.66 ref. So we took a pretty big loss on that, like 15% profit margin, but that's okay. We got some more keys in, and then we got a kilowatt polar charger. We picked this up for 33 keys and like 15 ref. Now again, I think this is one of the better soldier hats in the game right now. Other way worse effects are looking for over $100 on Marketplace, so I think something like this that's actually a reasonably good effect should get something pretty nice. I think our profit margin is a lot better with this hat, so let's see if we can get that. Okay, the end of the month's here. I'm going to quickly recap how we did. Right now, we have 33 unsold unusuals worth 1,284 keys and 49 ref. Currently on hand, we have 35 keys and 40 ref. We bought 37 hats this month, and we sold 33. Our most profitable hat was our Playful Aurora Hot Spaniel, which we had a 64.75% profit margin on, and we had a profit amount of 91 keys and 49 ref. Or if we take into account the Australians we got that we could sell quickly, but I'm holding out for a higher price, it would be a profit of 169 keys and 32 ref. All in all, a pretty good month. I'm excited to see where March takes us, so I'll see you next month.